you will appreciate this later because it means you'll get to rewatch videos if you need to of the class periods. So, welcome to Payroll Accounting. Hopefully you're in the right place. Well, obviously you are. I've called off all of your names. So here's our Canvas course. Have all of you accessed Canvas? Have you gotten into Canvas and seen your courses and all of that? Most of you are probably, even if you're just coming from high school, you're probably already maybe familiar with Canvas. I know a lot of schools are using it. So this is what I was talking about. So these links right here, right now, don't work. My fault. I didn't update them. So don't use those links. When you're going in, use the little, hi. What's your name? May? Okay. When you go in, use the little, what do they call that? Like a little menu hamburger thing. Or don't use that. Sorry. When you open that up, you should get a menu that comes down here. And for right now anyway, use that menu when you access Canvas. So first thing, so today what I want to do is just kind of give you an overview of what we're going to be studying in the class. We'll give you a little outline of what's going to be going on. Give you a tour of Canvas as well. I know for a lot of you, this may be your first experience at DMAC, so I'll just kind of give you a little idea of how it's all set up, what the expectations are for the class, share with you the textbook that we're going to be using, and how you get a hold of that textbook and how that system works. My name is Kelly Murphy. I'm starting my 8th year as a full-time faculty member here at DMAC. My home base, my home office is at Urban Campus. So, but in the fall, I teach here at the Ankeny campus. So I'm here on Tuesdays and Thursdays pretty much all day. My office hours will be right before this class, so an hour before this class. So if you have something that you want to chat about, I'll be here before. I'll either be in this room if it's open. That's kind of convenient actually to just be here and set up. Or they've set up a couple of faculty lounges for visiting faculty. I think room 14 is one of them. I might be in that room. But for the hour before class, I will be here. And then again for, how long is that? Hour and a half. At the end of the day, between 2:45 and 4:15. I have classes between those times, so I would not be available those times, but if you happen to be on campus. I do have, so my office hours are both virtual and in person, so if you want to drop in, that's great. If you happen to be off campus during the office hours and you want to chat with me, there is a virtual link to get to my office hours down here. That link, I've put it in a couple of places in Canvas as well. So it'll just take you to a Kaltura site where it's not Zoom, but it's like Zoom, where you just we meet virtually. If you want to make an appointment for office hours, which is, I offer that because if you're like, okay, I want to meet, but I've only got like 15 minutes to meet and I can't just get in there and wait if somebody else is there, you can make an appointment. And I have a Calendly set up, so you can go there and you can make an appointment. So that means that time would be dedicated to you. So if I've got some other student that's in there that didn't make an appointment, I would tell them that they're going to have to wait and I will take you. So it just gives you first shot at those at that time period. So those are in there, and what that looks like, so it just takes you to a link to my office hours, and that could be virtual or in person. So let's see. Well, for some reason, it's not got my office hours listed. Let's see. So that's something else I'm going to have to make sure of, because I did set those up. So I wonder if that's the wrong link. All right. Well, that will be there. Sorry. I don't know why that's not showing up. This is what the office hours would look like if you are wanting to pop in. Just put your name in there and your email address. That just tells me who you are, and you're popping in virtually for those office hours. So a little bit about me. Like I said, I'm a full-time accounting faculty member starting my 8th year. Before that, I still am a CPA, but I was a practicing CPA for many years. I practiced mainly in the area of tax. I did do some accounting work, but tax was really my passion. That was what the area that I really enjoyed. I know that sounds weird, tax as a passion, but that's tax has a different, accounting has different fields within it, and different personalities are drawn to those different fields. And I think tax, if you are a people person, that's kind of the field that a lot of people are drawn to within the accounting field is tax, because you do get to work with clients one-on-one and help them with their businesses or their individual needs. Whereas financial accounting, a lot of times you're working with smaller groups of people, especially if you're in the audit field. But tax is what I mostly did. So I did work in payroll tax, some. My main area, though, was income tax. And obviously, payroll tax, if you know anything, if you have any background at all in payroll tax, if you've ever received a W-2, you've ever had a job, you've ever had to file a tax return, you know that payroll tax and income tax are intricately intertwined. So those two areas of tax do work together. Come on in. Oh, what's your name? Molly? Okay. So, but that's where, so if in the future, there might be one or two of you that are also registered for income tax accounting. I also teach that class, so I teach it both online and in person. Super fun class, I think, anyway. Not everybody thinks so, but that class I teach in person here at Ankeny as well. I was also a fraud examiner for several years. So I was a contractor with the federal government and worked as a financial analyst, and we did fraud investigations, contracted with different federal departments, the FBI. This was, if you know anything about history, Edward Snowden was a contractor with the federal government, and he released information, classified information in violation of his contract. Some people call him a hero because of what he released. Some people think he was an enemy of the U.S. He's currently living in Russia, sought asylum there. After that happened, they cut down a lot on using contractors, and my position was also eliminated. They started just bringing all of that stuff in-house. But for a long time, I was a contractor with the federal government, worked with the FBI, worked with the State Department on different financial fraud types of investigations. I know a lot of students are really interested in that particular area and like to talk about it. It is kind of a fascinating area. So if you have questions about it, if you have questions about tax, you're not quite sure what field you might want to go into in accounting, I'd be happy to discuss those particular areas with you, since those are my areas that I have the most experience in. So that's enough about me. Let's talk about the class. So what you're going to want to do, one of the things you're going to want to do is make sure that you are signed up for notifications. So if you go into your account and you click on notifications, you'll get these options to be notified by email, or if you set up your cell phone, you can be notified as well on your cell phone. There's also a Canvas app for cell phones, so if you might want to download that as well. That would be an option. I know I have it on mine. It's kind of handy to have, but make sure that you are signed up for notifications. So where is it? Down here, alerts, announcements, global announcements. You're going to want to make sure that you have the notify immediately under those announcements. I think that's for every announcement. If you want to be notified of other things, go ahead and click that. Like if you want to be notified when I've graded something, when a grade has come in. Oh, this is our class announcement, sorry. So new announcement in your course. So if I send something out, you need to get an announcement for that, because it could be something like there's an ice storm and we're canceling class, that sort of thing. So make sure that you're signed up for that, because if there is something that comes up where the class is going to be canceled, the first place that I will put it is in the announcements. Also, if campus is closed or something, DMAC will put it in those announcements as well. So make sure that you've got that, that choice selected there. Okay. So all of those announcements, every announcement that I put out is going to be listed on there. You can't see most of these yet. There are a lot of them that are they're reminders that I will send out to you of things that are due. So that's why you're seeing a whole bunch of them there. But you probably have already gotten 3 of them, at least, or 4, I guess 5 of them here. But if I've sent out an announcement and you want to go back and look at it, it's there for you. It's not going to disappear. Okay, so it's not, they don't go away. Syllabus. Let's take a look at the syllabus. Hi, come on in. Are you in payroll accounting?
Oh, wait, no.
Okay, well then don't come in. Or you can come if you want, but what are you looking for? 01. 01?
O1E.
Okay, so G, C. Okay, there you go. You're welcome. I don't know why they put letters on some of these rooms. It's very strange. All right, so here is our syllabus. I don't know if you've had a chance to take a look at it. You have an intro quiz, an extra credit intro quiz that is based on the information in the syllabus. So first part of this, I'm not going to go through a lot of this in detail, just a few things I'm going to go through in detail. So these are all of our competencies for the class, the things that we're going to cover. You'll notice it's a lot. It's a lot of information that we're going to be going through. And then just our learning outcomes. Again, I'm not going to do that. So we are covering payroll laws. So the first chapter in this class is, there's no numbers associated with it. I'm sorry. I know you're here for the numbers and the math and all of that stuff. We don't actually get started in that until chapter 2. First chapter we're going to cover, though, is going to talk a lot about payroll laws, the different laws that affect payroll regulation in the country. So we do talk about those. We talk about federal and state withholding taxes, how we calculate those, as well as we look at the different forms that are used in order to report those taxes. And all of this is from a business perspective. So we look at it from the perspective of we're the business that is paying the employees. We don't really look at it so much from the employee's perspective. It's more from the business's perspective. So how do we process all of that? Hi, payroll accounting?
Yes, I went to payroll class.
Okay, that's all right. Come on in. Those of you that are coming in, I know that the parking situation is a little difficult. So if you came in late, and by the way, if you want to pass around, if anybody wants some, you want a sucker?
I'm good.
You're good? No? Suckers? Keep you awake? Here, go ahead, take one, pass it along. I discovered that just last semester, that sugar kind of helps to keep the students awake. So I'll try to use that as much as I can. What was I saying? Okay, so I know the parking situation was a little bit difficult this morning. If you came in late, make sure you come up to me after class and tell me. I know I asked a few of your names, but tell me again your name so that I can get you down for attendance. Everything. Okay. So we're going to talk about different salary deductions, a lot of things that a lot of different benefits that employees will choose to participate in, where their salary is going to be, their payment for that benefit is going to be deducted from their paycheck. So we'll go through all of that kind of stuff. Again, this is all from the employer's perspective. Talk about insurance plans, pension plans, that sort of thing. And then the very last thing that we do in this class is going to be your final project, where you're going to use a computerized payroll system that's integrated into the publisher's material, and you're going to go through and you're going to prepare payroll for a 3-month period. Okay, so that's kind of your capstone project that you're going to do by the end of this class. So, and you'll have all the information that you need in order to do that by that time. So, some suggestions. I do expect you to be here for class. If you're not going to be here, let me know. Let me know, what you don't have to go into detail, but, if you're sick or your kid's sick or something like that, let me know, just so that I don't expect you to be here. Make sure you read all of those class postings, the announcements and everything. Stay on schedule. It's very important to stay on schedule. Everything that we do, from the first chapter through the last chapter, it all builds on each other. So if you didn't get a concept down in chapter 2 and we're working on chapter 4, you're going to struggle with chapter 4. And you're going to struggle with chapter 5, and you're going to struggle. So make sure that you're staying on schedule. Make sure also that you're understanding everything. If there's something that you're not understanding, let me know. Okay, just keep me informed, and communication is really super important. Okay, I'm here to help you with your understanding. Sometimes, the information comes too quickly. Sometimes I'm just not explaining it very well. That certainly happens. So let me know. Communicate with me, because I want you to understand the material. So let's see, what else do I want to say? So you see my camera up here. I do record the lectures, and they will be posted as well. So if you missed a class, you will be able to view it. Now, that's not permission to not come to class and just view the lectures. This is not an online class. This is an in-person class. So I expect you to be here in person for it. And you do get attendance as part of your grade as well. So, but that is just up there so that it can kind of help you to reinforce the information, or if you had an emergency and you missed a class, then you'll actually have access to what we covered on that day. But you are responsible then for viewing all of that and for coming to class. Let's see. What else do I want to say? I already talked about my office hours. All right, so attendance and participation, late assignments. So I do accept late assignments. Maybe I shouldn't, but I do. But they are point reduced. So every chapter that we have homework assignments, and that's going to be the bulk of the work that you're doing, are those homework assignments. If they are late, and I'm not the one that assesses the late penalty, the system does. So even if you're working on it up until the last minute, and then you go over 1 minute, it's going to count you as late. It's going to count the whole thing as late. So make sure you plan ahead. The assignments are always due at 11:55 p.m. the night that they're due. So make sure you're not if it's going to take you 2 hours to do it, don't start it an hour before, because otherwise, even if you finish it, you're going to be assessed that late penalty, because it's all based on when it's actually submitted. So the assignments, which like I said are the bulk of the work that you're going to be doing in the class, are one part of each week. The other part, or not each week, each chapter. The other part is an assessment. So an assessment is like a test. They're true, false, multiple choice. So you do have calculations with a lot of them. These assessments, if they are late, they are docked 50%. So it's super important to get those in on time, because even then, if you get it all right, you're still only going to get a 50% on that assessment. Okay, so and I'll show you in here the what they look like, how it's all set up in our publisher's materials. All right. So grading criteria. Total points in the class are 1,000. We have the assignments that I was talking about, or the homework, the chapter assessments, what I was referring to as well. We also have a midterm exam, which will be done in class. So that will be here. That happens sometime the first week of October, I think it is. That final payroll project. Oh yeah, go ahead. So the midterm and the final are not open book, but you are allowed to use one page of notes that you create. Okay, front and back. So, and the intention of that is that page will also help you to study, right? I do go through, we do a review session before the midterm and the final as well. So that final payroll project as well, which I talked about, your kind of capstone project. There is the final exam. So the midterm exam is worth a lot more than the final exam, because that final payroll project is really going to be the bulk of what you're working on toward the end of the class. This comprehensive assessment, this is also the final exam. It's kind of a mini exam. We'll go through it when we get there. That's a long ways away. But compared to the midterm, it's a much more mini type of exam. And then your attendance points as well. So for total points of 1,000. I do pluses and minuses. So here are your grade cutoffs that are there. A point is a point is a point. I don't weight the different projects and assignments. So, you know, your goal is to get as many of these points. Well, your goal is to learn the material. But I know that points, it's kind of like your payday, right? You're also here for the grade. But a point is a point is a point. There are extra credit opportunities as well in the class, during the class with most of the chapters. Okay. Let's see. If it so happens that you cannot, so those assessments, those chapter assessments are open book. All of those, you can use whatever materials you have to help you with those assessments. Those are done on your own time. Those are not in class. But like the midterm exam, so if something comes up and you have an emergency and something's, you know, you're not going to make the midterm, you have to let me know beforehand. Okay, even if it's like, if you get into a car accident on the way here, God forbid, one of the phone calls that you should make should be, or at least emails, should be a quick email to me, just to let me know that, so that we can make arrangements for you to take it in the testing center, okay? Same with the final exam, okay? One of the things I wanted to mention, it's not up here, so they changed, if you've been at DMAC before, we used to have a finals week. Like there was no classes, you know, you would just have final exam periods that were like 2 hours long. They're not doing that anymore. So the last week that would have been the final week is just class periods. So you're expected to attend that last week. So instead of 15 weeks of class periods, we now have 16 weeks of class periods, but we don't have a finals period. So that what we'll do at the very end, we will have that final assessment during that time, but also give you some time in class to work on that final project and to ask any questions, like if you're stuck on something, that sort of thing. Let's see, what else do I want to say? So y'all have heard about AI, I'm sure, ChatGPT, Grok, all of those things. I don't mind you using it to help with your understanding of a concept. It can be really helpful. I mean, it's kind of like in the olden days, Googling a question, except that you're getting a lot more information. What I don't want you to do is obviously to look up answers with it. Keep in mind as well that it's not always right. I have discovered that. It will give some bad information. So it's just kind of a little warning to you to be careful. It can be helpful if you're like, maybe one of the ways that I think it would be helpful for students is if you get to the end of a chapter and you want to review some material, you could condense some information into your AI program and ask it to produce a test quiz for you so that you can you can quiz yourself on that information. That would be a really great use of AI. But I just warn you about looking up information. Unless you have specifically given it that information and said, hey, make me a quiz with this information I just gave you so that I can test myself. If you're just asking it for information, I would just be warned that it may not be right, okay? So I would caution you against that. And of course, I don't want you just looking up answers. I want you to understand the information as well. So that's kind of the gist of my AI statement there is, can be really helpful. Just take it with a grain of salt, that it's not perfect. And you're here to absorb the information, not just regurgitate it, right? You could do that without having to pay for a class, right? You could do that without having to spend your time in here. What else? Okay. So that's the syllabus. Any questions so far? I know this is really boring, just going through this stuff, but it is something that we need to get to. All right, so you're going to want to spend a lot of time in the modules, and it came to my attention, I didn't realize this until our faculty, our faculty development day, where they told us that a lot of times students don't even go to the modules. They just go to their to-do list. I had no idea that that was happening because I put a lot of information into the modules. I put a lot of stuff in there. So I advise you to go to the modules. Don't just go to your to-do list. So everybody, you're going to have like a to-do list that shows up. Where is it? So like over here, I don't have anything right now because there's nothing. My to-do list is all grading stuff. So like over here will be your to-do list. Maybe you've got some stuff in there already. Apparently a lot of students just go there and they click on it and that's all they do. I put a lot of stuff in the modules, so don't overlook the modules. So things like accessing your textbook is in the modules. It's not in the to-do list. So, and I'll go through these things here in a minute after I go through some of this other stuff. So miscellaneous resources. I have this schedule at a glance. Something you can print up if you want to print it up, if it's helpful to you. What we're doing every day is listed on this schedule. And if there is a due date for something, assignments, I've got it highlighted here. So your very first assignments are going to be due on the 28th, so a week from today. It's your intro assignments. So by next week, you'll have to have all those intro assignments done, which means you'll have to sign up for the textbook and you'll have to purchase it. The textbook is not included in this course. There are some courses, a lot of courses, especially in the accounting department, we've got it set up now with one of the publishers where it's included in your tuition, or it's part of it. It's not included. You're paying for it. It's just all squeezed in together. You don't have to pay for it separately. This class, you do have to pay for the textbook, access to the textbook separately. So that means that you are going to have to get registered for access to the textbook in order to complete these assignments by the due date. I'll show you how you access the textbook and the assignments and everything. I'll show you that in here. You do have to go to the bookstore or to textbook outlet especially if you're using financial aid, you're going to have to go through one of those sources to get a code. You just purchase the code, and what that code is it gives you either 4 or 12 months access to all of this publisher's material, regardless of the class. So if you have another class that's using this publisher, which is Cengage, then that code would give you access to all of your classes. Now, it's for 4 months or 12 months. Obviously, the 12-month is going to be more expensive than the 4-month. The idea behind that is if you're going to have other classes that maybe next semester that also use this publisher, that 12-month would then cover you for all of those classes. You just have to pay it the one time. Sometimes you don't know that, but it's something that you might want to kind of look ahead at what you're taking and see what those textbooks are before you decide which you're going to take. I don't think there are any other accounting classes that use this publisher. This is the only accounting class. There may be other classes, though, that you're signed up for that do use this publisher. But so anyway, so you're going to want to get that. They do give you, like if you go in there right now and register for it, they'll give you, I think it's 7 days free, so that you can get started with assignments. But then at the end of that 7 days, they cut you off. So you have to have purchased it by the end of that period. Okay. So I don't know what this leaf thing is. This is not a lot of work, but it is some work. It's some review work. It's some math review, because we use a lot of math in this class. So things like reviewing, how do I convert from a fraction to a decimal, and vice versa. How do I multiply? How do I divide? All of that kind of basic math stuff. It's not high-level algebra, but it is the basic math. So those assignments are included here. There's also some introductory accounting type of questions. So it kind of takes you through some basics of accounting. Some of you probably have had some accounting classes. Some of you haven't. Actually, raise your hand if you have had an accounting class. Okay, so about half of you have had some accounting experience. That will come in handy to you. For those of you who have not had any accounting experience yet, don't worry about it. This is what it goes through at the intro. It teaches you the concepts, and then it quizzes you on what those concepts are. It's very introductory type of accounting. So for those of you who haven't had accounting, who is currently taking accounting? So you haven't had it, but you're currently, so you're taking the principles. Okay. So most of you are at least either currently going to take accounting, or you've had some accounting. That will come in handy as well. Okay, so a lot of the stuff you'll be familiar with when you get to, and I don't know if the principles classes goes through payroll type stuff, like does an intro to payroll type concepts or not. Not that much? Okay, but they're just like a basic introduction, like, okay. Okay.
They don't really go that deep in each one.
Okay. Okay. Well, even at the basic level, at least it gives you a little bit of background. The second to last chapter. The last chapter is our final project. The second to last chapter of this class, we do go through accounting concepts, and essentially it's how you integrate all the payroll information into the accounting records. So that's really where if you're taking accounting now, or you've taken accounting in the past, that'll all come back to you. You'll be like, oh yeah, okay, so I see how this fits in to the greater accounting system. I kind of got off track there, sorry. So those intro assignments are going to be due on Thursday. There's an extra credit quiz, which again, it's over material that's in the syllabus for the most part. These are the things I want you to do. So set up your account. So as part of your 4-month or 12-month package, you don't get a hard copy, unfortunately. If you want a hard copy, you have to pay extra for it. And I don't know what the cost is, but it's not cheap. But this is what the textbook looks like. So when you go into it online, when you access it, this is what it's going to look like. So you have the e-textbook as part of your package. So, and, I think for most people, most younger people anyway these days, you're used to reading things on the computer, you're used to reading things on your tablet or what have you. Us old people, sometimes it's a little bit more difficult. But that's rubbing off. You want to make sure that it's the 2025 edition. So this is where I caution you if you're buying something somewhere else, like some discounted bookseller online or something like that. Make sure you're getting the 2025 edition, okay? Because this is the thing about tax, it changes every year. Sometimes it changes a lot. Sometimes it just changes a little. Sometimes it's, just inflation adjustments to certain brackets and things like that. Other times it's like right now, they just passed a huge new tax bill. The what do they call it? The Big Beautiful Bill. The Big Beautiful Bill that was a tax bill. That is changing a lot of things with the tax code. Now, we don't go through that because these are published. That just happened, last month that was passed? Or 2 months ago? I think it was last month it was passed. This was published the end of last year. So everything that's in here is current as of right now, but just know things are going to be changing a lot starting very soon. I don't know exactly when some of the provisions of the Big Beautiful Bill go into effect. Some of them currently go into effect. I think a lot of them start with next tax year, 2026. But so like I said, taxes are always changing. Sometimes they change a little, sometimes they change a lot. We're in a year where it's going to be changing a lot. But for the time being, this is what we're going to be using. All right, so we've got, I can't remember if this is a touch screen or not. This is not a touch screen. So this schedule is here. I've got over here to the, what you have due. So if you don't have anything that's actually due, it just tells you, read that chapter, read this material for this discussion. The topic, let me get this out of here. The topic for the day is listed under, discussion, activity. So like for today, introductions, syllabus review, and then if we had time, I was going to start chapter 1. I don't know if we'll have time or not, but we've got 3 days to talk about chapter 1. And then you'll notice that your chapter 1 assignments are going to be due then the following Thursday. So you'll probably want to make sure that you get started on chapter 1 as well as the introductory stuff. So we're going to start talking about chapter 1, but start reading it, start studying it, start looking at it, because those chapter 1 assignments are then going to be due on the 4th. Now the next assignments, chapter 2, you got 2 weeks to work on them, and during that 2 weeks, we're going to be lecturing on them, and we're going to be going through problems and doing that work in class, but then 2 weeks from then, you'll have your chapter 2 assignments due. Chapter 3 will be the same thing. 2 weeks later, chapter 3 is going to be due, and then we've got our midterm, I guess it's the 9th. I've got it scheduled for. So everything's there. One thing I do want to warn you about at the end of the class, and I'll remind you of this when we get there as well. You got a lot of stuff due right at the last day. You're going to have chapter 6 assignments due by the last day. You'll have your final project due by the last day. And then we're also going to do that your final exam in class on the last day. So I tell you this now because what I want you to do is plan ahead that you're going to want to schedule out your time so that don't procrastinate on it, is what I'm saying. Okay? I'll remind you of that, don't worry. But I just wanted to give you a heads up that that is the case. And that's partially because we've got this Thanksgiving break in there. I didn't want to have you have stuff due on Thanksgiving night. So I pushed stuff back. I pushed the chapter 6 stuff back a little ways so that you didn't have that to deal with. Questions about the schedule? All right. Let's go back to the modules. PowerPoint slides for every chapter are listed here. You can download them. I do go through this is what I use to help guide for the lecture material. There's other stuff that I go through as well, but so that's something that you may want to download those to have them handy. Whiteboard images. All right, so these are pictures that I've taken just in past semesters. Things that I've written on the whiteboard that students have found helpful to understand concepts. I just put them up there. If I do the same thing this semester and I take a picture, I'll put it up here as well. So these are just things that kind of like, let's see, exempt versus non-exempt. So we talk about the difference between an exempt employee and a non-exempt employee in this class, and this is just kind of a summary of some of the differences between the two. So these were just whiteboard images that I had put up over the course of several years. That's all that is. Accounting tutoring. So I cannot guarantee that there are tutors in the AAC that know anything about taxes. My experience in the past, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it's still the case. My experience in the past is that most of the tutors there are very good with financial accounting. Like if you're taking a principles class, they're spot on, they're great. But in the past, my experience has been there are not tutors that know anything about tax, whether it's income tax or payroll tax. Again, I don't know if that's the case now. But they've got so Ankeny, so each campus has its own. So this is just Ankeny. But if you're on a different campus, like Urban, they should, yeah, so they've got the schedule here for when somebody is available. Is there an accounting? Yeah, so there's accounting lab. Oh, those are old times. I'm not sure if Urban has an accounting tutor. So let's look at. So mornings, Monday through Thursday, it looks like. But there's also, we contract with somewhere. Do we still contract with BrainFuse? There we go. Okay, so here's another option for you for online tutoring. This BrainFuse, and they've got, it's some other company that we contract with. They would have payroll tutors there. Let's see. There you go. So I guess so business, accounting, hopefully they'd have somebody there. So if you can't find somebody in the tutoring lab, in the AAC, this BrainFuse is another option, but also office hours and email. You can email me. All right. So let's take a look at your textbook and what this is going to look like. So the first thing you're going to do, all you have to do really is click on this. Oh, except it's not there. Where is it? All right, hold on a second. All right, so it should have looked like this. I don't know, for some reason that's not there. You can click on any of the assignments. And it will, obviously, the first time you do this, it's going to ask you for information about you, your email address, all that good stuff. Make sure you use your DMAC email address in there, or the email address that you're going to use. You should get used to using your DMAC email address. To access, so this is what, well, let me go back to what you would see. Okay, fine. Sorry. All right, so this is kind of what the assignments look like. So over here to the left, you'll have your questions listed. So this is chapter 1, and this one's not too long. This is only 22 questions. Because chapter 1 is mostly conceptual, there's really no math involved in it. These are questions. Yeah. Yeah. Did you have a question? Okay, so don't hit, if for some reason that's not linking, just go back to the modules and then scroll down a little bit or you could go to the intro. You can go like to, yeah, I hate that. Yeah. And then, yeah, click there. So this is where, if you need to create an account, you can create an account there. Let me go to the intro assignments so I can show you that. So it doesn't show, because I already have an account and it knows me. It's not going to show you the create an account, but when you go in there, it'll ask you to log in. If you don't already have an account, that's where you're going to want to. So use your DMAC email address. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, and you already have, do you have an account?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay. So.
I'm trying to put my password,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't work.
Okay. So did you already purchase? Okay. So you have a password with Cengage?
No.
Okay. So that's what it's asking for. So what you're going to want to do is create an account with Cengage. If you don't already have an account with Cengage, yeah.
Okay, I don't know where I'm going.
Yep. So let's see if you're for. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So go through. Oh, it's Central Time Zone. And that's important. Make sure you put in the right time zone, because that's what's it's gonna use to gauge whether you're late or not.
I know this one.
So it's. Is there Chicago in here?
Chicago.
Okay. Here, Central. Yep. So use the Central Time, U.S. and Canada. Okay. So again, this is kind of what the assignment is going to look like. So intro to accounting. So like I said, it's going to take you through, like there's a video up here. It says click to watch the introduction to accounting video and then answer the following questions. Okay, so it's going to take you.
Accounting can be both specific and broad in scope. It encompasses such a wide variety of concepts that students are rather surprised.
So I'm not going to go through, you can do that on your time, but you'll want to watch that video and then answer the questions that are listed here about accounting. And then success strategies. So it's going to take you through a video and then you answer the questions. Debits and credits, which is part of accounting. Watch the video, answer the questions. Is accounting a math course? Watch the video, answer the questions. Now this is where, if you have issues with, like it's been a long time since you've had math, or math really wasn't your strong suit, there are some show me how videos here. Otherwise, you can just do the math problems right here. Also decimals, and then again, show me how. So if you need some extra help, there's videos there to help you. So this one doesn't have video. Well, yeah, it does. Show me how. Let's see if all of them. So all of them have videos to help you with the problems. Okay? Yeah. So it's central time zone. So just start typing in central. Yeah. There you go. Central US. No, this one. US and Canada. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Let's see. The book. So the book, the ebook is here for you. So again, there it is, 2025 edition. So when you start chapter 1, you can click right to the part that you need to see. So they've got 2 different versions up here. I think one of them is maybe formatted for like a reader, and the other one is not. The other one is a little bit more, has a few more features to it. Let's see. So it'll go through, but it's all the same material. So if you need, like this version here, if you need it to speak to you, you can do that somehow.
Chapter 1. The need for payroll and personnel requirements. Chapter Introduction. 1 line is learn the payroll profession.
So again.
Chapter Introduction. Learn the objectives. After studying this chapter, you should be able to 1. Identify the.
So if you need help with reading, or sometimes it's just people. There are a lot of people that will listen as well as read at the same time.
Would you like me one on my birthday? Try this.
Oh, because of the format. So. Okay. So. Try it one more time. Or maybe it just wants your year. Only the year. Yeah.
I have a question. So when I purchased it, it said this link for the textbook.
Okay.
But then on here it's saying that I need the access code for this site.
So did you get an access code with this? Here, wait. Oh, that's your password.
or like that for this. Because I got the.
Well, then I tell you what. Instead of going through this, use the link that they sent you.
Okay.
Hopefully, if you set up a
Here's like the just like the billing information like that I bought the book, but there was no like access code. So this is the Cambridge bookstore receipt. There's no like access code or anything.
Is there anything on the receipt? Yeah. Make it bigger. Let's see.
Because payroll accounting would be that one.
No, but I'm wondering if it would be that. So if we course links. Go directly to the course your instructor might provide a class or on your syllabus. Okay. So did you go through this to get there?
Yep.
Okay. Try entering that number in and see if it does it. No. Okay. Let's see, is there anything on the second part here? All right, hold on. Let me see these guys. So central, just type in central. Yeah. CEN. Okay, U.S. and Canada.
This one?
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry.
Mhm. Yeah. So,
It means they didn't buy this one, right?
have you purchased it?
Yeah.
Let's see.
This one activation code? No, it's free now.
So yeah, this is probably the free one right now. Have you been to the bookstore?
Yeah, I
To-
went to the bookstore.
Oh, there is no receipt. I
The
checked.
bookstore. I went to the bookstore and they told me you are done with all the materials that you want for this book.
Okay.
I don't know how they did it.
Okay. So let's see. Oh. You can if you. So Wendy, is it Wendy? Yeah, it looks like you got in.
Yeah.
Did you purchase the book? And what code did you use?
I used that PIN number.
PIN number. Okay. So some students didn't. Oh, let's see. Was it on this?
So when I went in there this morning, they charged me for a book
Okay.
only,
Okay.
and then they had to refund that because it comes with the unlimited, they said.
Uh huh.
So then I got charged the difference. So don't buy the book. The book comes with the unlimited. Is basically
Right. So like the physical book.
no.
Or-
They charged me for an online book, so I basically was paying for it twice. You know, you buy the unlimited.
Oh, I
and the
see.
digital book,
Yeah.
then because it comes with the unlimited.
Okay.
So they
Yeah.
had to refund that and only charge for the unlimited.
Okay. All right. So let me. Okay.
But then that's what.
That's the code. Okay. Thank you. Okay.
So
Okay. Did you purchase the book?
No.
Okay. So let's see. Did they send you an activation email?
Right now?
No, email.
This receipt
Okay.
has a code. So you have
So
to
here, scroll down a little bit.
Okay.
Keep going.
this one.
It
Yeah.
says not required. Oh, wait. Here, this code right here.
Yeah, this one is yeah,
That's it. That's what you put in.
this one.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. How about for this?
So do you have? Did they give you a receipt? You'd have to have a receipt.
There's a code on the receipt.
And
They also
they did. Okay. So no, not this one. Let's see. Go back to because if they said that they sent you from Cengage, they sent you an email. So go back. Let's see. Is there something in junk maybe?
I'm telling you what. You're done, right?
Oh, you spelled it wrong. You put DUE instead of EDU.
Oh.
So you'll have to put your email. Yeah. Let me. Hi. Yeah. Just like I just want to show you where it is. Show me the receipt again. Yours doesn't have a code. There should be. See where it says PIN? It says
Yeah.
not required. There should be a PIN there.
Okay. So do I need to go to the
So you might need to go back to the bookstore because tell them that you have to. I don't know if maybe they did the same thing to you that they did to Wendy and sold you the wrong. So you can, if you want to chat with Wendy, what happened to her. So did you get it? Yes.
I'm trying to put it, but it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, and then they charged me a $5 discount fee. Yeah, so you have to that. It just says that there's no PIN required, like on like the receipt.
Yeah, I know.
Did they ask for
So this is what the copy for that.
How are you guys doing? You're getting in? Okay, cool.
Oh, that's the wrong price. Yep, they charged me for just the book.
They sold you the wrong thing.
Your total is with all the other stuff that you got there. Yeah, that's just.
How are you doing okay? Okay. So you haven't been to the bookstore yet? No. Okay. Okay. So
Maybe if you didn't buy it.
I think he hasn't bought it. It's probably just the financial aid has come through, so it's available, but it looks like it hasn't been purchased yet.
no, but I went there and they told me you are all set. I got two books, two physical books.
You got two physical.
Yep.
Okay.
And the single as well. They told me it's like if you want to buy it's about 500 and something for the whole year. So I remember I bought it.
Okay.
I bought
Do you- So you need the receipt, though. I mean, it would be on the receipt that they printed out for you. You might have to go back to the bookstore and tell them you need your receipt for the book.
May I go right now?
Yeah, yes, you can go. Yeah, go right ahead. I'm pretty much done with, in fact, let me stop this.